What's going on, guys? Tony back here with Shed Talk. Here for season 3, episode 2. And I have a great guest today. I'm sure you guys know who this guy is. This is Chase Edmonds from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
717.
Yeah, my guy right here. My old teammate as well. And we're going to talk about a little bit about what he does, about the NFL, anything about, his life and things like that. So, let's kick it off. Tell him a little bit about you.
First and foremost, I appreciate y'all having me on here, bro. It means a lot to me. Really grew up Harrisburg, PA, just like Anthony. Went to Swater Middle School, CD East from there. Got a small-time offer to go to Fordham, small D1 school. And then from there, I kind of just took off from there, 3-time All-American. And then ended up getting drafted in the 4th round to the Cardinals. Going into my 4th year now.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
4 years.
Crazy how time has flew. I'm in my 4th year now, man, and just it's exciting times for us. Obviously, we kicked it off with a big-time J.J. Watt trade, and, I'm going in right now, and we don't really know what the future's like, but I'm excited to just really put my name out there as a big-time player.
Man, absolutely. And honestly, obviously, we all keep up with you,
Yeah.
everybody that knew you back here, and, I've been reading, obviously, a lot about recent things that have been going on with, like you said, the signing of J.J., obviously Kenyon's going to be doing whatever he might be doing. And, obviously that means big opportunity for you.
Yeah.
Your coach sounds like he's got full faith in you. How does that feel? Like, I just read an article how much he's talked about you specifically.
Yeah. As a player, man, especially a young player still, it feels good, obviously. I got to do what I got to do and hold my end of the deal up and just come out and really show that I can be an RB1 in the NFL. I'm capable of it. I know I got the talent to do it, and I just got to make it happen. So, really, right now, man, when I head back out to AZ, I'm locked all the way in, training my ass off, and just excited for the opportunity I got this year, bro. It's surreal, man. Finally, it's one thing to be in the NFL, to be a player in the NFL. You realize, okay, I got my dreams going, I'm here. But then it's like when you have the opportunity in front of you that I do, it's like, man, I got to make it happen. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for myself where I can really change my family's life for the rest of their lives. So.
And that's awesome to hear. Obviously, I know you're a family man.
Yeah.
You've always been a family man. I know you were always close. When we played ball together, your family was always there supporting you, and you always supported them. That stuff's big. It's important. But what really got you to start playing football?
I started playing when I was 5, and I remember my dad just always talking about how good he was as a football player. Always say, I did this, I did that. You know how it is with your old heads. You kind of like, yeah, whatever, man. Like,
right.
I hear you. But I was 5 years old, and I played for the Swater Tigers, and it was my 3rd practice, bro. And I go to practice, and I think I got hit too hard or some shit. And I come back home crying, telling my dad that I wanted to quit. I ain't wanting to do a football ever again. And he kind of that's where he started just putting this thing in my head, bro. Just like, whatever you do in life, it don't matter what it is. Doctor, firefighter, player, baller, business guy, you always finish what you start.
Yep.
And that message kind of always just went with me throughout my entire life of just, if I start something, I'm going to finish it. And lo and behold, I finished the season that year, and the rest was history. And that's kind of how the football dream started.
Right. Look where you are now. Like you said, you're here to finish the goal.
Yeah.
You started with it. Obviously, you've had how many things that have happened throughout your career since you started football, and now you have an opportunity to really shine. We talked about it off camera. I've talked about it with many people. It's very impressive to see where you've come from and what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, what is it like? What kind of, do you feel like a pressure that you've come, from where you have to where you are now?
Not at all, bro. It's honestly, it's more of a chip.
Okay.
Just because, like I said, I was a small school guy, bro. I was at Fordham University, and my first time, I remember when I got drafted, and we went on the field, and the amount of small school guys on that field, it's very few of us. It's probably maybe 5 or 6. It's up there now because the NFL has changed, but it's when I first came in, it was 6 small school guys on the entire team. So you know what I'm saying? So you have these thoughts in your head damn, I grew up always watching the big time TV, always seeing these guys play in the big house, Michigan, playing at Ohio State, playing for Alabama. And then you got you, CD East kid, coming from Fordham University. I'm on the same field as these guys, though. So what I did was, man, I just really tried to take that into my heart, put that in my mindset that it didn't matter where everyone came here from. He's from Ohio State, he's from Alabama, but shit, I'm on the same field as they are right now. And I just put that in my mindset every single day, bro, and grind. So I really just look at it as a chip and not really nervous. But just speaking on that, like my first year, my rookie year, that's when the nerves were the biggest. Just because, you know, you watch all these guys. I'm like, damn, I'm on the field as Aaron Donald.
Yeah, right.
I'm with Khalil Mack. I'm with Larry Fitzgerald. I'm
They're
with Pete.
Yeah,
I'm with Pete. They're coming to hit me. Like, these dudes ain't playing. Like, Bobby Wagner ain't playing.
Right.
Coming downhill. So, other than that, though, bro, that was the first kind of nervous experience that I had in the league. But now it's more so just like I'm in it to prove that I belong, but not only do I belong, I can dominate.
Yeah. And you absolutely have been. I mean, look what happened last year. You played so well at the slot as well as the running back. I mean, I watch you all the time, obviously. I mean, obviously I'm supporting my Birds and everything, but I got to support your Birds too.
I appreciate it.
I mean, you guys beat us this year, but whatever. I ain't going to hold it against you. But hey, look, I mean, it's awesome to see, like, you were able to be so versatile on the field. You're able to do what you're able to do. And like you said, I mean, you think about it, you're looking at these guys that are these future Hall of Famers, and they're coming to hit you.
For sure.
But you want to be on their category. You want to be the future Hall of Famer. You want people to remember Chase.
Yeah.
And believe me, I mean, they see it. There's so many people out there. I don't need to be the one to tell you that. Yeah. They're watching. I mean, you got a whole big year ahead of you.
I appreciate that, brother.
Of course. No, I mean, but like, who are some of your biggest inspirations, your biggest motivators?
Biggest motivator. Outside of my father, man, my biggest motivator, at least growing up, trying to get to where I am now, was LaShawn McCoy.
Okay.
For obvious reasons, you know, Shady's from Harrisburg. I remember being a little kid at McDevitt. Not at McDevitt, I'm sorry. Being a little kid going to the McDevitt games and just watching Shady. I was at the game when he broke his ankle. So just to see LaShawn McCoy when I'm going shopping with my father and we go into the Nike store and I see Shady on a damn billboard, and I'm like, you know, he grew up right down the street, played right down the street from where I live. So if he can do it, I can do it. So he was probably my biggest inspiration going into it, just because I always had someone to look at in terms of like goals and aspirations. Like everything he did, I wanted to do times 10. And I still got a long way to go. But it's cool when, like, you know, your idols, you can actually talk to your idols. Like the first day I was able to contact Shady and actually start to grow and build a relationship with him, it was just like, wow, man, this was my idol at some point, and now I get to call him like almost like an associate or a friend. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I'm assuming you guys still talk enough, like
from for sure. Yeah. Talk to him a lot. Just giving him shit about getting the second ring. Yeah. But shout out to him. Congrats to that. But yeah, man, this is an awesome experience.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be at that point. I mean, like you said, Shady. I went to McDevitt. I obviously understand. Like Shady was a big name around here, and he always will be. And you know, obviously, you're the next man up, and you know that. Like these people, everybody's gonna be looking up to you. You want to be a good figure, just like Shady as a person. He was out, you know, doing his thing, playing for the Birds. He's had so much success in his career. Obviously now 2 rings as a great back, and now it's your time. You know, and that's cool. You were able to build a relationship with somebody that once you were like, I want to be him.
Right.
I am with you now. Like it's cool to get to that level.
It is.
But like obviously in that time frame, you've gone through a lot. Like, how do you like battle the adversity that comes to you as a player?
I would say I've always just kind of learned from the vets, and one thing I learned was just never too high and never too low. You know, the NFL is a game of high and lows, and it's a season of high and lows. So you got one game where a guy might go for 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then you got a game where he might fumble twice and go for 30 yards. And then obviously the same people who was patting him on his back will be the same ones trying to shove his ass out the door. So I've always learned that you don't get caught up in none of that shit. You don't get caught up in the outside noise. You just stick to it. You stick to the formula. You know that it's ups and downs, ebbs and flows, and you grind. And you really just go day in and day out, and you don't look too far ahead, man. Don't get caught up in it. Just really enjoy the present moment.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing I've been trying to do. Just really enjoy the present moment, not get caught up in it. Whatever's meant to happen is going to happen. All I can do is bust my ass and work hard enough where, you know, I can try to make it happen my way.
Hey, and as a former teammate, even if it was middle school, I know you've had that mentality forever. I mean, I talked about it. I had Mr. Jackson right in this seat, and he told a good story about you, about when you were in our class doing the jump rope and all that stuff. He actually talked about, like, that's one thing. It was a question that came from actually another classmate of ours, John Bissett.
Yeah, I remember John.
He was like, what was it like to he asked Mr. Jackson, and Jackson was like, man, Chase was a fool, first and foremost. And he was like, listen. And then he goes, but this guy, I've never seen a mentality like that. And I was like, I 100% agree. Like, knowing you from playing with you and being on your team, like, and playing against you, man, you were the hardest worker.
Appreciate
I can't.
that, bro. Yeah.
You wanted everybody on the team to do that. Now you're able to do that at a different level, and everybody else is trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So, like, let's talk football, like the NFL. What are some of your favorite memories, or what is your most favorite moment of your career so far?
Definitely the New York Giant game.
That was a great game.
Yeah, man. Just because, like, most people don't know. I mean, the night before the game, we already knew David wasn't gonna be able to play.
Right.
I mean, we watched him running in practice. He was on one leg, like so. Like I already knew that David might have had one play in him, he might have had 5 in him. But I knew the game was gonna be mine, you know. And I remember looking at the weather report the night before the game in the hotel. It's like 10 o'clock at night, and I see that shit says like 70% chance rain, 80% chance rain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, God, please do not let it rain. Like, please don't let it be a heavy rain game. And then I started like sitting back and realizing, like, you know what? And I just sat there and prayed. I said, whatever the conditions need to be for me to have the best game, let it be that. And of course it was raining like shit.
Yeah, that's New York, man.
Of course it was raining like hell, bro. But you know, it ended up being a great game for me, man. And just you know, going to Fordham in New York City and having so many people at the game, having so many people be able to watch the game, the love was just so crazy, bro. And being able to just have 3 touchdowns. And really, that was the game where it was like, man, I can play in this league. Like, whatever opportunities they want to give me is what they want to give me. But I know that when I get my opportunities, I can really make something happen in the National Football League. And that really took my confidence somewhere where I know I can be a player now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And anything you do, obviously, confidence is the key
Yeah,
to your
always,
success.
bro.
It has
Yeah.
to be, because you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Like, to say that you're running back in the NFL, I mean, obviously, that's like, holy shit. Like that, but you got to be that person. You got to
Right.
fill the shoes of that position. And
Yeah.
honestly, you just have to build the confidence to say, look, they chose me
Right.
to be the running back.
Right.
They drafted me for a reason.
Yeah.
And they chose me to be on this offense. So, you know what? Like you said, you're going to bust your ass.
Yeah.
You're going to do what you need to do and get there. I mean, and like you said, that was a great first, you know, like big game for you.
Yeah.
That was cool to see. I watched that game, actually. I hate the Giants. So
Yeah.
obviously rooting for the Cardinals, I was like, shit, look at Chase go off the field right
Trying,
now.
yeah.
Like, damn, all right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what was it like? Like, obviously, this whole last year was so wild. Like, what was it like to play during COVID?
Oh, during COVID. Oh, man. It was, bro, it was crazy. I mean, you probably got used to it, like, we got used to it a little earlier just because we were in it.
Yeah.
You know, we were always in the playoff race, especially in the beginning. I think we started off 5-2. At one point, I think we were 6-3. So, like, we're looking at the playoff games like, damn, like, we got a shot to make a run. And we're kind of a young team. But just getting back to the COVID part, I mean, bro, the guidelines that we had were outrageous. Like, when you go into the facility, you had to pick up this little Connexon tracer thing. So it's like a little white square about this big, and then you put like a little wristband on or whatever, and if the Connexon would fit into the wristband, and that's tracking all your movement. So like right now, me and you, we're not 6 feet apart. So if we both had a Connexon on, it would be beeping red, and it's letting you know that you're within, you're within close distance to contract the virus if someone had it. And then from there, you must wear that everywhere you go. You got to wear it at practice. You got to wear it in the shower. You got to wear it at the cafeteria. I mean, the cafeteria, like, they had to space the tables out. It was like 9 feet apart. Guys had to sometimes eat in your car.
Damn.
Bro, it was crazy. I'm trying to think of another guideline we had. Like, obviously going in the training room and stuff like that. Just mask and the little face shield on as well.
Wow. Okay.
And then the biggest aspect was just the games. Like, the first game we played San Fran, 0 fans.
That
like,
has to be insane.
Bro, 0. And one thing I noticed was I started watching NFL games after our game. Y'all TV copy, it's like, it seems like, oh, like they got some fan noise there. Like, it's kind of loud. Like, it's not terrible. Nah, bro. It's dead ass silent.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the NFL had to have a rule where basically it was like a noise threshold. And they chose like, what is noise threshold measured by?
Decibels.
Decibels.
Yeah.
And they chose like 75, 80 decibels. And bro, 75, 80 decibels is like how it sounds before a play is about to start.
Oh, geez.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like the fans are getting up. It's like, it's not loud at all. So, I mean, bro, you're on the field, and I mean, you're making play calls, and it was so weird at first to really hear everyone communicating.
Yeah.
Like, you're hearing the D-line communicating. You're hearing the linebackers communicate. You're obviously hearing the quarterback communicating. You're hearing the running back talking to the O-line.
Yeah.
You're hearing the corners like, hey, what's the call? Bro? So, it just added a new aspect into the game itself, and really, I thought the smartest players benefited the most. You know what I'm saying? Once you start film studying and then you start hearing vocal calls, you start hearing people talk, and you're like, damn, okay, this call means that. Okay, this call, they did this look. It was so I really think it added a whole new complex into the game this year.
I bet. I mean, one, that's insane. The amount of like actual guidelines you're following, like that's wild.
Testing every day, all that.
Yeah, like, and I have cousins that are college athletes right now, and they're doing that every day type shit too. Because my cousin's a baseball pitcher up in New York, actually, and he, I mean, I understand he's been telling me this every day, but like, that's insane. And obviously they're, you know, when I'm watching ESPN or something like that, they're talking about the noise of the crowd that they're trying to portray in the stadium. And you're like, wow, that sounds great. And now, I mean, obviously it's a dead silent stadium at that point. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I think like home field advantage this year didn't play no factor.
I bet.
It wasn't big. It didn't matter if you was the 1 seed or the 7 seed. It didn't matter. As long as you got in, you had a shot. I mean, I think maybe one team, Kansas City, just because, you know, Missouri didn't care. They was having like 22,000. So, and that's one thing I noticed. Like, we played Carolina, I think week 4. And prior to that, we didn't have no fans in no games.
Right.
But Carolina had 6,000. They had 10,000, I think, allowed at their stadium. And 10,000 felt like 60, bro.
Right.
Like, when you start getting used to not hearing a damn pin drop, and then you go to a 10,000 stadium, you're like, damn, bro, like, what's the call?
Things change.
Yeah, things change, bro. So it was definitely unique.
It's nice, obviously, now. You know, we've been in this now a year. Obviously, we've all been affected in one way or another. It's definitely going to be different, I feel, this upcoming season.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, we're going to have guidelines, new guidelines, new normal, what that might be. Yeah. But, like, now you're going to be able to have fans. And I keep reading it like, hey, you guys are going to be able to start opening up 50% of the stadium. Right. That's like, obviously, that's not the exact same. Yeah. We obviously, I'm sure you, as the athlete, you want to sit and you want to have 100,000 people watching and, like, have that crowd back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's what that drives you on the field. I mean, that... Yeah, just being a player, being in high school, obviously that's where I ended. But like having a crowd was always great. I can only imagine 100,000 or 60,000, whatever it might be at the stadium. Like that has to be tough.
It is tough, bro. That was the hardest thing to adjust. I'd say like just do like the first quarter of the season, like maybe first 4 games where you're really going out, bro. Like you got the announcer still announcing the teams, trying to get people hype, and it's just like you looking in the stands and that shit's empty.
Yeah,
and you just like.
Let's
go play football, right? Let's go play football. So yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah,
but no, I mean, like obviously things are looking really good for the Cardinals. If I had to, just from a football fan, like my personal perspective, obviously young offense.
Yeah,
that offense, just watching that team is fun to watch, and obviously you being a part of it's even more fun knowing you.
Yeah,
and then all the signings that are gonna have happened and things that are moving around. Like, how do you feel the season's gonna go? Just obviously things change. You never know.
Things
change. Health is a big part of it, but
I gotta still see kind of where we go with free agency. Obviously, we got J.J. Watt to start it off, but it's obviously gonna be a lot of optimism going into the season. And really though, we ended very disappointing. You know, we thought that we were for sure a playoff team, and I think the one thing we got to do as a team is just really work on being more consistent. Because I felt like a Week 7 Cardinals team that was on looked like a playoff team that can make a run, but then you 100%. Had like a Week 11 game against New England, and we looked like we didn't belong, you know, losing against New England like that. So I think we just got to build on consistency, and we got to work on really changing the culture in the locker room. I think culture is the biggest thing in the locker room, bro, outside of just like the leadership, just because it's about preparation. It's about going out there believing you can win a game, about executing how you handle certain situations. And obviously, we were a little young last year, but we really hated using that excuse. You know, I always talk to K1 about that, just like, you know, the time is now. The time is not, oh, okay, let's you know, we still got to develop next year. Nah, the time is now, bro. You know, we want to be great. So obviously, that's the tempo where we're going into next year.
That's all. I mean, like you just said, you know, you have today. That's really all you got.
That's all you got,
like,
bro.
As long as you can execute every day, then you'll get to where you need to get to. So that's just like, and you know, like you said, it's a young offense. It's a young team, but like that, like you said,
shit don't mean nothing.
It doesn't. It comes down to the chemistry of any team you play for, no matter what size, no matter where you're at.
Right.
That's all that matters, because that's where the team thrives, because you're all on the same link. You're all in the same motion. You're all going to be doing what you need to do to win. Yeah. It's not a one-man show. It's not a couple-man show. It's your team.
Right.
It's the Cardinals. And I mean, like you said, I honestly thought I'd see you in the playoff too. It was obviously an unfortunate end of the year, but you have this year to come. You have a big year for you personally and also for the team. So like, that's great. But touching back on actually something that we discussed, I always ask a question from the community, and my little cousin I actually mentioned that's a pitcher in New York.
Okay.
He had a question for you. He wanted to know, like, coming from that small D1 Fordham, that small school, like, how did you go about getting to the next level? Like, what brought you to that point?
It was always my dream just to be in the NFL, obviously. But I think Fordham really pushed me even more just because I remember my freshman year was syllabus week, and we was in class, and, Fordham's not a big school. It's maybe like 30, 35 people per class. And we was just going around the classroom kind of doing like a little icebreaker, just like, yo, my name is such and such. I'm from here. This is what I want to do with my life. Fordham's a smart-ass school, so you got people saying they want to be financial advisors, neurologists, all this type of shit. And they get to me, and I say, my name's Chase Edmonds. I'm from Harrisburg, PA. I'm going to major in communications and broadcasting. I want to be an NFL player. And, like, I could just, like, you could just feel, like, when people are kind of, like, looking at you weird or just staring at you weird. And, like, I know they probably was like, come on, bro, like, you're at Fordham, like, give it up. But that pushed me even more just because, like, I could feel the looks that I was getting from that. And it was like, you know what? It's nothing to me. Like, I don't care if you believe in me or if you don't believe in me.
Right.
I believe in my damn self, and I'm going to get it done.
And that, again, that's all you need. You need the confidence. You need the ability to be confident in yourself to say, hey, I don't care where I'm at. I'm gonna get there.
Yeah,
like you just gotta have a path. You gotta have a goal. And if you stick to your goals and stay consistent to your goals, look where it took you. I mean, that's awesome. Like I'm very impressed. Obviously, knowing you for as long as I have and being friends with you as long as I have, like that's cool to see that.
Yeah.
So that's great. But what? Obviously, like we talked about earlier, being a family man and your daughter Avery and everything. What's it like to kind of balance that life? And obviously, I know she's very important to you.
Right.
That's your life. Like, tell me about that kind of balance.
Yeah, I mean, shit. She's the reason I'm out here right now. And I mean, really, before COVID, it was pretty balanced. Like, I had a whole schedule set where I got to see Avery for a third of the calendar year out in Arizona, which I felt was fair. And then anytime I came home in the off season, it was just half and half. We switch off, whatever. COVID kind of just messed it up just because I was looking out for her safety. We felt like it was best that she just stay in PA the whole time until this whole thing dies down. So really, man, just balancing being a father and trying to be the best player that I can also be is I wouldn't say it's hard, bro, just because Avery now is she's so connected with football. She enjoys watching my games. She enjoys talking to me about practicing the game. And like I remember just talking to her when she started missing me. She's like, well, Daddy, I know you guys get to the playoffs if you win, but I want you to lose so I can see you. So I can, nah, baby, I get what you're saying.
Come on, Avery.
I get what you're saying, baby girl, but we're gonna hold off on that.
That's funny.
But yeah, man, it's an awesome experience, bro. Just watching her grow, watching her become a young woman almost. She's 6, but she seems like she's going on 12 already.
Damn.
And so it's definitely a blessing, man.
Absolutely. I mean, that's awesome, obviously, to have that connection with her. Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine. Obviously, the day-to-day for you is a lot. And you're going to practice. You're going to, watch film. You're doing everything you need to do. And also balance Avery in there. But she's your first priority, I think. Family comes first.
Yeah.
But, like, what do you want people to know about you, being a girl dad? I mean, obviously, Kobe Bryant, obviously, rest in peace to the man, but that's something I know he lived by. And that's one of my biggest inspirations as a person. He was always great off and on the field. Like, and girl dad was something he wanted to be. Obviously, that's you. Like, what does it mean for you to be a girl dad?
Man, it means a lot, bro. I'll tell you what, being a girl dad definitely changed the way I was, I was a little wild on the wild side early on. And once I had my daughter and really started looking at how Avery's growing up, looking at how, my actions and the way I act, she looks at, it really just opens you up, man, opens your eyes up, bro. So I try to treat everyone how I want my daughter to be treated, obviously. And being a girl dad is it's so special to me because I feel like young women, just around the world in general, they need that father figure, that man figure to show them, okay, how is a woman supposed to be treated? How am I supposed to be treated? How am I supposed to allow someone to talk to me? How am I supposed to allow someone to treat me? And that's just something that I want to show Avery. And as she grows, she'll learn more and more. But I just want to do the best job that I can, man, of just really setting her expectations for her own life.
Yeah, for sure. And that's so important. I mean, the respect part of it comes down to just you as a person, your character.
Yeah.
And obviously, we all learn from mistakes. We all grew up. We were young, single, and having a great time. And obviously, but hey, you that's a great mindset, obviously, for having a daughter. I
Right.
mean, you gotta teach everybody
Yeah.
respect. I mean, like you said, the golden rule: treat how you want to be treated.
Yep.
It's so important to understand that. I don't care who you are, what you do. That is so important because it's just, again, that's that character build that brings you back to who
Right.
you are
Yeah.
as a human, and then I think that would bring a lot of respect.
Yeah.
You know, that's why people follow you and watch you as obviously you're a talented NFL athlete, but at the same time, they know your character.
Yeah.
So that gets you to another level of athlete, I would say.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's awesome. But what advice do you have for athletes out there? The young generation is watching you, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what advice do you have for people that want to be in your shoes?
I'd say the advice I have, man, is just whatever you want to do in life. I know it's so cliche, bro, but just I feel like whatever you want to do in life, however you want to accomplish it, no matter the hurdles that you got to go through, it's all about that hard work and dedication, bro. I can't stress it enough. I just got done talking to I had to do a Zoom call talking to some kids, and I remember talking to them. They was in 5th grade or 6th grade, like they was in that middle school kind of area where like they're growing up, they start to realize what they want to do and everything like that, and just reminiscing on being that kid. You know, you remember like when we used to have them damn what they call it, bro? Yeah, when the people came, what is it, like, it'd be in the auditorium. I don't know what the hell they used to call it. They used to have a name for it, but
something like that.
But they would, and then just being in there and like I would be the guy messing with Trey and Purdy while someone's up there talking, not listening to a word they're saying.
Right.
And then just talking to those kids and being in the position that I'm in now, I'm like, bro, like what you do now is how you set yourself up for the next level. And then what you do at the next level is how you set yourself up for that level. So like, okay, you're in middle school now. Well, if you don't have good work habits, if you don't want to do your homework, if you don't want to practice, if you don't want to work hard, what you think you're going to do in high school? You're going to do the same damn thing. That's how you build bad habits, or that's how you build good habits. So my thing was just, I remember, you know, having days where my friends was going to parties in high school, and I'm telling them, nah, bro, I got to work out the next morning. And like, obviously some of them understood and some of them was like, come on, bro, like that shit can wait. And it's all about the hard work and dedication, bro. That's all it is. You got to have a different mindset, and you got to be wired different, where you got to say, okay, is this helping me get to where I want to get to? You know, you got to sacrifice what you want now for what you want in the future.
I cannot disagree anymore. Like that is amazing advice, because like it comes down to like we've talked about, anything you do, anything you want to accomplish, anything like that, you got to put your 100% into it. It's just so important.
Right.
I mean, you have ample opportunity. We were young men at one point, be able to go out, party, like you said, go to high school parties, college parties, and obviously you take advantage when you can. But like, if you got something to do and you got to get to that next level,
get it done.
You have to have the right priorities in your mind to take you to that next place.
Yeah.
And you skip out on a party, big deal. There's another one.
Right.
There's not another opportunity to get to where you want to be when the opportunity is in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to take it. And, you know, obviously the social aspect, it's hard, you know, when you're young and you want to balance that opportunity. Like, yeah, I want to go out and party with my boys, or I want to go, you know, chase girls when you're single, having fun kind of deal. But like, there's time and place for that too. But you got to stay focused. You got to stay motivated. And like you said, keep in school, stay on top of shit. Like, it's all about, again, the priority side of things, and just, you got to know what you want, and you got to be serious about it. It comes down to everything. You have the right grades to get what you got to go to college. First off, you wouldn't have gotten to college without a good grade.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have gotten to the pros if they didn't believe you were a good athlete. It takes time. It takes steps, small steps, I would say. But, you know, as you guys know, as we, you know, wrap up, you know, first off, obviously, appreciate Chase taking some time out. I know it's his off season, but I really do appreciate your time here. You know, it's good to catch up with you as always.
Always.
But as a final shed thought to you guys, as I always wrap up, we talked about it here. You know, opportunity is endless. Anything you do, anything that you want to put your mind to, and anything that you strive for, do it. The opportunity is there. It's just a matter of how do you get there. Finding out, you know, do your research. Figure out how you can get there. If you got to work at it physically, go work at it physically. If you got to go find something mentally, do your work. Read a little bit. Do what you need to do, but I'm serious. The opportunities are endless. I mean, I knew Chase back in the day as a teammate playing middle school basketball. Look where he's at now. Like, you have that opportunity. Everybody's got an opportunity to get to a place if you put your mind to it. I mean, and that's my thought of this week. I think it's important to express that. And, obviously hearing it from somebody that's been there and doing it every day, obviously it's a hustle, it's a grind, but it's something you love. It's something you want to do. And if it's there, the opportunity is endless.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I again appreciate this and appreciate, having you stop in while you're home.
No doubt, brother.
I can't wait to see you thrive this year. It's a big year for you. It's a big year for the Cardinals. I'll be rooting for you guys, especially because my birds suck. Not very happy with their locker room is terrible. Yeah. I'm just putting that out there. Like, I can't watch the Eagles it's so hard. Like, I don't know what's going on over there, but whatever. We'll see what happens. Obviously, you got my support as always, and you have. I'll be trying to draft you again this year in fantasy, as I have been every year, but it's been helping me. But as always, guys, you know where to find me. But Chase, where can they find you on social media?
Chase Edmonds 22 is my Instagram. Same with my Twitter, so it's pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple.
Yes, sir. Same here. Obviously, you can find me at Tony Shed Talk at Instagram and Twitter. You can find our page on YouTube, that's Shed Talk Podcast. You can also find me and Neil DM22 across the board, our great producer in the back. And then also you can find Shed Talk Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Shed Talk Podcast. But as always, we like you, we love you, and we'll see you next time in the shed. We out.